You already told her that?
Okay, so I'm ready to begin. At 6:30, it looks like we're all here. We got a great crowd. First of all, I want everybody to go, That's a relief from the quilt show. I think we're all quite relieved that it's over. I think it went really well. And AQS seems pleased with us. So thank you to all who participated. And go home and rest up because there'll be more to come next year. So to start off, I'd like to ask Pat to do the attendance and the membership report, please.
Has everybody signed in? Okay. Last month, I announced that I had no idea how many members we had. It's been resolved, and as of right now, we have 94. 62 of them are here tonight. Heaven only knows what we're going to do if we get the whole 90. Anyway, yes, we have 62 members present and a few guests. Okay. Lynn Zimmerman, are you here? Would you please just stand up and let us say hello? Hello. And Jeannie Osland. Bob Sherdaya, am I pronounced yet? Where do we go from here? Oh, Nancy Swanson. Thank you, Nancy. And Sandy Bissell, who happens to be Molly Waddell's daughter. Welcome to everyone. And I would just like to say that if any of our guests are even remotely thinking about joining this guild, please see me as soon as possible. Please don't wait till the end of the meeting.
Okay, thank you, Pat. Okay, we're now on the Secretary's report. You should have received the January and the February minutes. We didn't vote on the January meetings last time. So first of all, I'd like a motion that we accept the minutes from January. Somebody make that. Joe? Can I get a second?
Second.
Michelle seconds it. All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Now we'll vote on the February minutes. Can I get a motion to accept the February minutes?
So moved.
Joe?
Kelly? Can I get a second?
Joe.
Pat seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, the minutes have passed for January and February. I did want to mention to everyone, you should have gotten a copy of the extended board meeting. I think that went to everybody, didn't it, Pat? Yeah. So I'm going to encourage you to read it. There's a few things in there of note. I did want to let people know that we will be having another extended board meeting. That's hard to say. Extended board meeting in May, probably. I wanted to schedule it for 3 months out. The primary purpose of that meeting will be to resolve any issues that we had outstanding from the February meeting, but I also would like to go through the bylaws and the standing rules. In reading the bylaws, there's some language in there like she, and we have he's now too, that need to be changed. And then there's some references to group works, which we no longer use. So some of that stuff needs to come out. And we also want to look at the standing rules. So if you don't have copies of them, we can mail those out. But I think everyone should have a copy of both of those. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't, send me a note and I'll make sure that we get them to you. But there's things that are in the bylaws that really should be part of our standing rules, and there's some standing rules that we need to modify. A couple of those things are how we deal with retreat money. That is changing. But I think we need to put in there, some expectations around last-minute cancellations because the retreat center is going to be changing the way they collect their money. So There may be some monies that people have paid that are non-refundable, or you may need to get someone to take your place. So we want to make that clear in the standing rules once we know the policies of the new policies from the retreat center, how we want to handle that. So that's the purpose of the meeting that's coming up in May. In the executive committee, the important one that we went through, the important decision was we've decided as a group that we no longer wanted to pursue Exact as a vendor to replace GroupWorks. We're going to move forward with updating the website to meet our needs in that regard. The team has been working very hard to redesign our website to make sure that those needs can be met through the website and eliminate the need for a couple of different opportunities for getting out of sync. So we'll have Facebook and we'll have a website, but we will not have Exact or replacement for GroupWorks at this time. So read the minutes. If you have any questions, you can send me a note. Please make sure when you send me a question, you preface it with Racing Fingers Quilt Group, RFQG. That will give me a clue that it's something with Racing Fingers, and I'll pay more attention to it. So anyway, that's the secretary's report. Judy Russell is not here, so I have a report from Judy Russell. I have asked the secretary, the treasurer, and the philanthropic, the charity, to give me a report each month so we can tell you where we are. What Judy, let me go for Judy first. Judy says that she has filed the tax returns for 2025. And I didn't realize this, but it has to be filed earlier. I think she said her deadline is March for nonprofit. Anyway, so that has been done. The LLC filing, which is that Sunbiz from the state of Florida, she's filed that too. She said the income from the AQS show came in slightly above the budgeted amount, and I will talk about that. She's working with Kimberly Klein to connect payments to our updated website. That's in the process. She's still in the process of eliminating the private fund designation by the IRS for the Guild. And what that is we want to be a 501c3, and somehow we got a C9. And there's certain tax implications that go along with that, and the form is bigger and all that stuff. So she's working to get that corrected. And she said working with the government is not easy. She said our bank balance as of right now is $33,316. $5,337 of that is designated for the retreat. So that's monies that has come in for the retreat that will get dispersed after the retreat. I did ask her, because I'm always curious, what the quilt show brought us in. So I have that. And I just want to remind people that we do not publish our financials anywhere that's public. So if anyone wants to see the report, they're welcome to ask me for it, but we don't disseminate that through public means at all. AQS paid us $3,000 for our efforts at the quilt show. $307 came in from package check. She said the opportunity quilt was $19.46 for a total of $5,411 before expenses. We had quilt show expenses of $507. She said we net income after expenses was $4,904. So as you can see, that's a big part of our budget. So thank you to all who participated and volunteered, because that gives us money for programs and education. So thank you very much for that, Judy. Any questions on that? Okay. Does anyone have any correspondence they received? No? Me neither. Programs and workshops. Nanette, Coral, you want to talk about the upcoming programs, please?
Okay, it's going to be exciting tonight, of course, because we've got 4 members that are going to be doing personal quilting history, and they've brought 5, 6, whatever quilts that they love and want to talk about. And also, we'll be able to get help and show them here so they can talk on the mic and you can actually see the quilts. Then next month is the April meeting, and Mindy is going to do pre-cuts. Where, when, what, how, whatever, what do I do with them now, and what's the best thing to do with them, because we got no clue and we got stacks of them. So she's going to solve that for us in 45 minutes or less there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But then the Saturday after that, which we have a sign-up sheet, is she's going to repeat her workshop on the stand and sew bag that everybody loved last year. And there's not a charge to use the room, but there will be a $25 fee. She's going to provide the Peltex, since Joanne's not here anymore, the Peltex and the webbing. And if you have the pattern already, like I do, then it's $15 for the workshop. If you don't have the pattern, it's $25 because you need to buy the pattern. But then what we're prepping you guys for is May with Ricky Timms. Yeah. Yeah.
With Mindy's workshop, we are limited to 15 people. So if you're interested, Coral has that right here. So sign up soon. Thank you.
Ricky Timms is going to do a live Zoom call for us. And so we were able to secure space at another location with a Zoom screen, which is about 20 feet by 20 feet. Everybody will be able to see him and hear him. And we will open the doors at 5:30, and because it's just chairs. We won't do food and drink. The Zoom call comes in at 6:30, and when we start that, that's about 75, 80 minutes of his program, and he's going to talk about the visitation, the quilt that was at the quilt show, and his one at Road to California, and a bunch of all the places, the history, the background, how he did it. And then after that, we'll do our business meeting and our show and tell. The Pat will be sending out the addresses, but it's the Boardroom Coffee Company is in Ormond Beach, behind the CVS. It used to be Lulu's restaurant. And so we have rented the large space in the back, and we will have a technical person there all the time and that kind of thing. The deal is, it is 100 maximum. So please, either when the website, when we know that's up and going, or tonight, tell us you've got to reserve a spot. And if you want to bring a friend that's not a member, it's going to be $20 to help cover the rent of that space. But with 90-some people, it's very possible that we won't advertise it really except by word of mouth, because they ask me to please keep it at 100. So just keep that in mind and let us know as soon as you can that you want to come.
You have a sign-up sheet?
I do.
I'll let you
Yeah. Yes.
Can you zoom in for us snowbirds that can be here?
Can do what?
Zoom in.
Oh, no, I doubt it. I haven't. That would be to ask Ricky Tim's team, because he's calling us and we'll link in. So I don't. Yeah, that sounds complicated. Yeah. That's. I don't know. We're working also. That facility's working on getting it so that he can see us in the room, not just us hearing him and him pretending he's talking to nobody. But it's the program and then a question and answer. So, can you ask them about the other Zoom? About the what? The Zoom. Yeah. If we can get another link.
Yes.
If you're not
Yeah.
there, we'll ask.
All right. Well, right now we have, Coral and I met this week, and we have a lot of other programs that we have in the works for everybody. We hope you're as excited about it as we are. And a lot of the talent is going to come right here from the Guild. We are we're so blessed with so many backgrounds and quilting experience, and anyway, people are going to share that with all of us. So we'll be putting that into the newsletter over the next couple months, and you'll hear about that. So this is called a 5x5, but really it's a 4x5. So we don't have to be perfect about this, right? So our first presenter is Molly Waddell, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what Molly, she could, but
Oh, we're not starting. Oh, I thought we were. No, not yet. Okay. Sorry, Molly.
She's primed and ready now. Okay, so that was in anticipation. She's just so excited she can't control herself. I'm really excited about Ruby Timms. I want to applaud Coral and Nanette for securing another location for us. I think it will be great to have, a world-class kind of environment to see that, and also that we have technical support that can help us if there are any problems. AQS. Linda, did you want to say anything about AQS?
Yeah, I'm creaking today. I found a closet I hadn't found in 2 years that has my UFOs in it. So I moved them into my sewing room and moved all my Christmas decorations over there. So I'm like, okay. I want to thank several people who helped make this happen. Patty Mirabile, who's done package checks for us for several years. It always goes beautifully. Sharon, Kathy, and Kelly, who did a great job recruiting this year. I don't think we had any glitches at all, which was wonderful. Carolyn and Robin, who worked on the quilt, which gave us a little angst, and they say we have a professional that told us how we can fix it and get it ready, and so we're going to be doing it next year, and then they retire, they say. They are going to make sure that goes through. Sue Martin for running fidgets. We always get wonderful reviews, and AQS loves our fidgets. Debbie Morse, who has done ticket sales for several years, and also donated the quilt for us this year to get us out of that bind, which was a wonderful savior. Thank you. And Debbie's retiring from ticket sales after, 3 years? So if anybody wants to talk about what it entails, now's the time to start talking. I'm going to keep asking. They have changed the dates that they had published for the show because Daytona 500 decided it wasn't a good thing to have the 500 on Super Bowl Sunday. So they changed their dates, so we had to change our dates back up. So the show next year runs February 10th through 13th, a little earlier. They've also changed the main hotel they're working out of. It's not the Hilton, it's the Marina Grande, the one that's right down at the end of the street here. So those are the changes that are coming up that I know of. I also want to thank all of you, because when we asked you to step up and fill in all those spaces at last month's meeting, you did. You did a great job, and you guys always step forward and help us get the job done, so AQS is smiling at us when we're done. So thank you all.
So I want to thank Linda. Linda has been our fearless leader with AQS for probably as long as I can remember. How long is it? 10 years? Yeah.
11 years ago since I started that.
So 10 years. And we do have a contract for next year. So we will be there. But many thanks to Linda for doing this. It is a lot of work, and she does a great job at it. So thank you. Sit and sew is Kathy Carlson here. Kathy, anything to say about sit and sew this month? Okay, so it's the third Tuesday, not tomorrow, but the following Tuesday, correct? Hospitality, Patty, you have anything you want to say about hospitality?
I'll put I have it with me, but I think we're good through, hang on one sec, real quick. We need May we're not doing. So actually, I'm going to talk to the two people who signed up for May, and put them in June if possible. So then I just need one for June, and then we're into July, so we're
Okay.
good.
Okay. Thank you, Patty. Quilt retreats, Patty, anything to say about that?
There are changes that will be happening when I sit down with Sarah, then we'll get particulars.
Not for this one, but for the
No,
fall.
For the, yeah. And actually, I'm not sure about the, but we'll find out. They're gonna require a deposit for the first time, which we've always just paid, when we've gotten there. So, I don't know about, like you were talking about, possibly cancellation fees, if they're implementing that, and any other changes, but I'll let everyone know, once I find out at the next meeting.
And at the executive board, extended board meeting, we did talk about changes to the standing rules. I just lost my mind. Standing rules, and one of the things was with Patty and Judy, we'll work through what works for them as far as handling the funds for future retreats and any changes in refund policies and things like that. So they'll be working through that, and we'll have that ready probably in May. Charity distribution at Sandy Makowski, and she's not here, but she did give me a report. And she said, I don't have much to report. She said in January we donated 5 quilts to Charlene's Dreams. And for anyone who is making donations tonight, she said, Leslie, you'll pick those up. Leslie's in the back.
I'll have a bag up front on the
We just want to make sure that we don't take somebody's 5x5 home.
after city side. I mean, after show side.
Okay, so see Leslie, she'll let you know where the bag is for that. And she said, now that Christmas and the Quilt Fest is over, I hope our members will be able to sew again. So, fidget quilts, do you want to talk about that with Sue Martin?
Right here.
Okay. Oh, there you are, right in front of me. Anything about fidget quilts? That's the first Tuesday.
First Tuesday of every month, and in the closet now, I have blanks with kits.
Can everyone hear her? Okay. She said she's got blanks with kits in the closet, so you just have to bring yourself. Is that it?
Bring yourself and your sewing machine, and I can provide the thread, I can provide the needle, whatever you need. But right now, I have 70 blanks completed, and we have about, I think, 75 ready to donate. And I'm going to be donating some to elementary schools and 2 nursing homes this next week. And St. Jude's has contacted me, wants to get her stuff. And so I usually just mail them because I can't drive to St. Jude. If somebody wants to take a road trip, that'd be good.
Actually, I belong to a sorority, and St. Jude is their huge sponsor. And they had an opportunity to tour, but unfortunately I couldn't go. They say it's amazing. St. Jude's an amazing place. Closet organization and supply management, Linda Derryberry. Do you have anything to say about that, Linda?
Oh, I thought you were going to teach us. I wish I could. You should see my house. You wouldn't want my organization. Like I said, I just didn't know where my UFOs were for 2 years. Back on the table here, I have a bunch of little baby bundles. They have fabric for backing and a top of your own choice you can make. We've done these a while ago, and I just found a whole crate of them. If anybody would like to adopt a little baby and take it home and bring us back a little bit, like a 6-month-old that's already got a top to it, then we'll get batting and get people to quilt them. And I have 3 back there that are ready but need to be quilted if anybody would like to take one. We're trying to get this out of the closet.
Thank you. Joe, do you have anything to say about Quilts of Valor?
Yes, we received 5 Quilts of Valor finished tonight. An additional 3 tops came in, and I would like some help with people who are willing to put backing together and do the quilting on them. I will be here Tuesday a week for Sit and Sew, and if you can be here and join me or tell me tonight, I'll get you the materials. I also have 3 kits, bundles, ready to go to hand out tonight. More potato chip blocks for 3 more quilts. If you would like to adopt a block, come and see me before the meeting ends.
Any questions for Joe? Okay, Mindy and Lynn, do you want to do the block of the month?
Ladies and gentlemen, you have stood up and responded to the call. We have 48 blocks times 2.
Actually, it's month ever.
Actually, one of them is 49.
Yeah.
So we're going to draw 2 because we figure you can make a darn good quilt with that. For our new people, block of the month. Mindy and I choose the easiest pattern we can possibly think of. And since this year our challenge quilt is to be something patriotic, red, white, and blue, about every other month we challenge you with red, white, and blue. So that's what we've done. They're very, very easy blocks. And we're going to see who is going to be the lucky winner. I'm Sue. Get your white tickets out. Get mine out. I have some for my friend Sue in here. The last 4 are 9510. 9510. Some people have lots.
Here, have that city.
Dorothy, yay!
9510?
Yes. What's your last name, Dorothy?
Thompson.
Thompson. Dorothy Thompson. Okay, now this is my other one. How many?
I don't need it. I trust you.
48 or 49, depending on which stack we stuck the last one in. Okay, the next one is 9497. Yay, Sue wins. Sue has been using some of the AccuQuilt dies. She has one that's an airplane, and she plops it right on top in the middle, and it looks fabulous. Okay, we're putting that away, and we're ready for the next month. We're gonna pretend we have a board. Being organized that we are. 10-inch squares. I made our cutouts in red, white, and blue. However, Mindy has several to show that you can do other things with it than red, white, and blue. If we have a significant number of red, white, and blue, we'll kind of group those together. And if we have a smattering of everything else, we'll just group those together. So we took a light and a dark, 10-inch, put it together. And most of you have done this before. You draw a straight line down the middle and sort of a dotted line 1/4 of an inch away from each side. And you sew them together. And you cut right down the center line. You go ahead and press to the dark side, just because it looks better. And when you get done, you have a multitude of things that you can make design-wise. This. And Mindy's going to show some that she's got here.
All 3 of these quilts were made strictly with half square triangles using a layer cake. This is just half square triangles put together in trip around the world. So just take the squares that you went home, sew them together. This one combines half square triangles and solid blocks to make a big star.
See?
That's just half square triangles. And then this one takes the half square triangle. If you had,
You want this?
yeah, if you had a half square triangle like this, and you were to cut it vertically, and then mix and match your pieces, then you would get this. Yes, jumping jacks.
lots of
So
opportunities.
much that you can do. That's just a little sneak peek for next month's pre-cut meeting. What you can do with pre-cuts, because these are just layer cake quilts.
So now you can see, if you thought this past month was easy, oh my goodness, so much easier.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be red, white, and blue. Go with whatever color you want. If you want red, white, and blue, like Lynn said, we'll put them aside, and you can maybe make a Quilts of Valor quilt with the red, white, and blue. Of course,
And
it's
see, I already have a stack to start with the red, white, and blue, so don't feel bad if you want to do red, white, and blue, that's okay. Or the flowers, so there's lots of opportunities. If we did this many this time, you think we can get over 100 next time?
Oh, yeah. A light in the dark. You're a light in the dark. And the pattern will go out through emails, just like always. If you start with your 10-inch layer cake squares, so a scanned 1/4-inch seam, that's very important. When you cut it, you should be able to square it up to 9.5 inches.
Sharon? Sharon, do we have anybody taking pictures tonight?
I'm sorry, say again?
Do we have anybody taking pictures tonight?
Oh, I don't think so. Where's Lisa? Is there somebody that wants to take pictures for us? Is there somebody that wants to take pictures for the show and tell? Thank you, Judy. So Judy Glover has volunteered to do that, Tanya. Thanks for the catch, Linda.
You have to start over again.
No, we're not doing that. Okay, so,
Hold up those 3 quilts.
okay, I'd like Pat to do a drawing for the name tag.
Last 3 numbers are 570. 570.
Everyone, yay!
Debbie Morris. She won the prize for wearing her name tag. Okay. UFO challenge. Sue Martin, you've got some prizes to give out, I understand. Okay. So the first prize will go to number 432770, the white ticket. 432770. This is for the UFO. How many do you have?
Only 3.
3? Four, 3, 2, 7, 7, 1, 3. 7, 7, 1, 3. Seven, 7, 1, 3. Oh, it's yours? Too bad, Julie. Last 4 numbers are 7715. Is that yours, Julie?
No.
Okay. 7715. 7715.
Oh, that's me.
All right. Okay, and the last one for UFOs is 7724. 7724. Seven, 724.
Must be here. Nobody's left yet.
Oh, it was Patty. You wanted one more?
It's gonna be one of those.
They did.
Yeah.
Oh, 7712.
Is that Julie?
Oh, yeah.
So you wanna? Oh.
Pick a person up. Yeah, we did, but they've only, that's all we have.
We're done? Oh, she's got,
Well, keep going. What?
Oh, you did?
7718.
And I can put mine in, because I did one of them.
Oh, lucky you, Joe. Yeah, I'll do it later. Okay, so AccuQuilt electric system, anything to say about that? Is Nora or Sandra Althea here? No, so no report on that. We do have a boatload of dies, but I think the only thing to note is I'm pretty sure that we're planning to bring that to the retreat. Is that correct?
Yes, and please, anyone who is signed up for the retreat, I sent an email and said, please let me know for specific dies, because I got them from Sandy and they filled my trunk, so obviously I can't bring all of them. I'm willing to bring a bunch, but I also need space for like stuff for my retreat. So just let me know if you have specific ones that you would like, and I will definitely bring them. No. Well, there's a whole bunch in that closet. Oh, the machine is going to be at the retreat.
Okay. So if you have a particular die, and you should have gotten a note from Pat, I believe. You sent out the list of the dies, I thought.
I haven't done the news, I haven't been given.
Okay.
I have the original.
Oh, okay. I think that's what I must have had.
I have a list of what's in that cover.
Okay.
But I don't have the new one.
All right, so if you have a request, contact Patty and she will see if we have that die for you. Also, there was a note in the newsletter that said you could check out the machine, but that is no longer the case. We did vote on that at the extended board meeting. The machine is too expensive to keep lending out and taking a chance that it's going to get broken. So the machine will only be available at meeting times or assigned times, sit and sew, and at retreat. But you can check out the die. So the dies are available for checkout, but not the machine. Okay? Yeah, Sandra's not here, and I think she's the one that has the list. So I'll ask her if she can send that out. Okay. I don't know if she's been able to inventory it yet, but there's like 49 or 50 that were added. Did she? Okay. So I'll contact Sandra and ask her if she would mail that to Pat for distribution. Okay. Opportunity quilt for 2027. Carolyn and Robin have agreed to chair that again this year. She generously agreed to do that, but they would like, there's not a lot of work to be done. There is some, most of the work has been done. There are some fixes that need to be made. They've got some ideas from Crystal when she was here. And so they would like 2 or 3 people to volunteer to be on the committee so that we can have more ideas on what to do, but they have a plan somewhat in place. So if you would like to be part of that, see Carolyn or Robin, and they'd be glad to have you as part of the team. And if not, we may have to recruit some people. Technology. Peter, anything around technology that we need to be aware of, or are we okay?
I think we're okay.
All right. Peter's so quiet back there. I want to give him a big thanks because he's always here. And I understand he does like cookies, so, you know, if there's cookies in the kitchen, I think he feels okay.
Thank you for everyone who brought extra food tonight, because there's definitely more out there than people signed up for, and everyone appreciates that.
Okay.
And thank you.
Okay, I think I'll do a door prize now. Do you have our member list?
Okay, Nanette, pick a number between 1 and 64. 54 is Suzette.
We have 2 door prizes that you can choose from. One is a pattern and the other, we got some tea donated by that tea place.
I don't have,
Make up your mind.
I'll take the tea, I'll take the tea.
All right. You can have a seat. I have one next. Okay, let's do one more. Molly? The number
Pick a number between 1 and 64.
55.
Is Sabine.
With Sabine. All right. Okay, next on the agenda is the website. And for those of you that don't know, we are redoing the website to bring it more up to date. I think they said it was like 12 years ago that we last published the website. And in the age of technology, that's probably like at least 100 years old. So, Sue, did you want to talk about that, or is it Kim that's going to talk?
Kim can come up if she wants. Or
So if you'd like to, you can either do it now or when you get home, but go to Racing Fingers quiltguild.com, and it will come up on your phone, and you can go ahead and start looking through it. And in the coming, the goal is to have a one-stop shop. So in the coming weeks, we're going to have a members-only page, and they'll have a password. And so things will, only if you're a member will you be able to have access to that. That'll have the bylaws, the old minutes, things like that, our member directory. And of course, you can always choose to not be published if you don't want to be published. But it'll be great that if you can say, you know, I have to call Jean because she's going to teach me how to do something, or I don't remember what she had, or I'm going to call Aurora and say, let me borrow that pattern, or, you know, then you can contact, or I'm going to call Mindy for everything and learn how to do that. So that's one thing that you can be looking forward to. The goal is to also do the reservations, and hopefully we'll get that up before Ricky Tim's so that we can get a count about who's coming. And we were doing that before on group work, so we would know about, you know, how many people were coming and how to set up the room, things like that. So we're looking forward to it. I do want to thank Linda for all the work that she, you know, did for Exact and trying to do it, but we felt like if we could have everything in one place, that would be great. Anything that you see that might need a change, or you say, no, I'm not so sure it's this, please feel free to email me or call me. And that way I can be a buffer for Kim, who still has a day job, unlike me, who just flits around the neighborhood doing a variety of things. And is there anything I'm leaving out, Kim?
You got it.
Can you stand up, Kim, and let's give her a hand? So she's gotten on this, and so with the very delayed technology person who has forgot what little I knew to begin with, she's been very patient, and so we're trying to work together and get this done. And so I'll be interested in your input. And Racing Fingers quiltguild.com. Quiltguild.com. Okay, I don't know why I don't know that, but I don't. I'm just scared to death to be up here. All right, thank you.
So So I want to thank Sue and Kim and Diane Hofer for stepping up and volunteering to do this. Kim has a full-time job doing web design, so it was particularly exciting to get her as part of the team. But bless their hearts, Kim took this on, and Sue and Diane blindly said, okay, how hard can it be? We'll take this on. And so now they're finding out.
Oh, I just have to make one more announcement. So the person we took it over from, she said it's really no big deal until you realize that she did cybersecurity for the Air Force. So how hard can it be? It's hard.
I think we've all said that about one project or another. Oh, how hard could it be? But I do want to thank them because I went out and I looked at it and it got a very professional look that I think everyone will be pleased with. And it's great. Thank you again to Linda for looking at Exact. But the hope is that we'll just have two places, Facebook and the website that we need to keep in sync. Lynn, do you have anything to say about Facebook? Anything, Lynn?
If you're not joined, come join because you get lots of little tips on those. That should block them up.
Okay, and if you need more information, Lynn can help you, or Linda is also part of that team. Fidget Sew, I think we talked about that. That was on the second Tuesday. Sue, do you have anything to say about Foster?
We are up and running, and as always, every Thursday. So if you're bored, between 3 and 6:30, come on out at Lighthouse Presbyterian in Ormond Beach.
Okay. Did everyone hear that? Lighthouse Presbyterian in Ormond Beach. And the great thing about that is you don't have to bring a machine. You don't have to bring anything. Just be careful when you get there, because Sue has a habit of volunteering people for stuff. That's how I got to be president. Little did I know. Little did I know. Kathleen, anything about sunshine? Where's Kathleen? I thought Kathleen. Oh, there she is.
I noticed in the minutes it said that cards will go out for members that have rough times and also for milestone birthdays. Well, I don't have anybody's here, so milestone birthdays aren't happening. I have started texting, but I don't know that. Unless you want to tell me, I'm happy to send you a card. I've been texting people for their birthdays so far. I think that's working out okay. And then if anyone knows anyone who needs a get well card or sympathy card, just let me know.
Okay. So if you know somebody that's celebrating a milestone birthday and you want to rat them out, you can tell Kathleen. Okay. We have a drawing for Charlene's Dream. And that is Sue. Sue Martin. Do you want to talk just a little bit? And where is our quilt?
I'm getting it.
She's coming. Okay. So the idea with this came up when I was at the shop doing terry sewing, pretty much as usual. But I saw this quilt hanging on the wall, and I said to Michelle, I want to buy this quilt, and then let's try to raffle it off and take the quilt, give it to Charlene's Dream so they can do what they want with it, and then the proceeds would go to Charlene's Dream. Now, I got very sick, as people knew, for a little while, so we got a little behind on it, but we got a few tickets. Not that tall. I know. Let me help you. I got it. So it's a really beautiful quilt, and so I got it from Michelle, and now we're gonna draw somebody's name.
That's butterflies.
Don't be evil. Okay. And the winner of the quilt is Dee Duckworth.
done. I did want to do a shout out, a congrats to Tatiana. Where's Tatiana? Where is she? First place? Say again?
First entry, second place.
All right. And Julie got accepted into the quilt show. That's a big one. Do they give you any feedback on your quilts when you enter it into the AQS? No? No. I know some quilt shows do, and it's kind of helpful for you to move forward if you're in the competing kind of mode, but it would be nice. All right, now we have a very special time. Joe Picard, would you come up here, please? Do you want to wrap this?
I'm gonna have to wrap.
Okay.
First,
Anyone else? Anyone else you want to? So I don't know if many of you know Joe. He's such a quiet person. But Joe is a veteran, and so we are here to honor his service tonight by awarding him Quilts of Valor. And if she can get it folded correctly, there is a knack to it. And I understand this was a quilt that you made?
I made the top.
Okay. And who quilted it, do you know?
I had it quilted.
Okay.
I had it quilted by a lady that's in Lake Mary. Her name is Kenda Briggs. Probably some of you know her. She teaches at the So first,
All right.
I'm going to do is I'm going to show you just a little bit. Hi. About time. Okay. We've been trying to do this for a while, and of course it's been me sick and him busy. But I've had the pleasure to track him down. It took me a while to get information from him, and he said he couldn't remember. But so Joe served in the Army, and he was honorably discharged. And I have a little quick history. He was drafted in 1969 after 4 years of college, and he went to basic Army infantry training in Fort Ord, Monterey, California. He had advanced infantry training in Fort Ord, and that's in California, same place. Specialty training, Army Intelligence School, Fort Holabird, Baltimore, Maryland. Completed intelligence analysis training. Military assistant command vice nom assignment, Tan Con, 2nd Corps Highlands, Vietnamese Ban Dung Dung. How do we say that? Okay. Okay, come on. Okay, in the 1970 completed electronic sensor training program. In 1971, advanced Bronze Star, 2 oak leaf clusters. In 1971, Vietnamese Tham Mu Bai Tin Award. Nice. R&R Bangkok, Thailand. Then he was reassigned to the Intelligence School in Baltimore with the aid of the school's relocation in Fort Huachuca, thank you, in Arizona. Assigned to Intelligence School for the remainder of his Army career. In 1971, intelligence instructor training completed. Released from active duty in 1973 and to serve 2 more years of inactive reserves and honorably discharged on May 1st, 1975.
safe, and I am so had the pleasure to have met you. And this is your certificate.
You're welcome.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
for your service.
I do. It's the one you were working on the retreat. Thank God it's not August.
So I think it's always a special day when we get to recognize our veterans and active duty military. So thank you, Joe, for your service. And now I think we are ready for our program.
Community announcement, old business.
Oh, yes, old business.
Halifax Hospital Community Sew is coming up right after the retreat on the 28th from 10 until 3. It's not at the hospital this year. It's in Aberdeen Community Center on Old Clyde Morris between Granada and LPGA. Bring your sewing machines. There's fidget quilts. There's animal pillows. There's heart monitor pillows. All kinds of small work activity. Any skill level. There's something you can do.
What time?
Between 10 and 3. On the 28th.
And usually at those kind of meetings, they can use people that can iron, people that can cut. So if you don't want to bring your machine, I'm sure Joe can find something for you to do.
Plenty.
Any other old business? It's a very adorable bag that we drew what Charlene's dream out of. Somebody left it at the volunteer table full of lollipops. Do you want it back? Yeah. Okay. Somebody also left off their registration goodies. It's got a block, some thread, I don't know, whatever they gave you if you joined AQS at the show. No, okay.
What was that, Linda? I didn't hear.
If you registered for AQS at the show, they gave you goodies like a block.
Oh, okay.
Like that.
I think it.
Anything else on old business? Any new business? Okay, let's get show and tell started. We need one on. Oh, I'm sorry. I told you, I've lost my mind. I went on a cruise, and it went on a Friday. I was so confused, I kept thinking it was a day later. So you're lucky I'm here tonight. Okay, program.
Where's my cohort? All right, I guess this is our moment. Actually, it's your moment. So I have the pleasure of introducing one of our members. Her name is Molly Waddell. She actually has her daughter here. Thank you so much for joining her. I appreciate that. And I'm going to read to you a little bio about Molly. Molly's been sewing most of her life. She bought a raffle ticket for a quilt and won, and that began her quilting journey. After taking many
years ago. Over 30 years ago.
30 years ago, wow. Yeah, after taking many classes both locally and nationally, from the best and the worst, she began to teach her own designs. Then a friend suggested she become a certified judge. Molly loves all aspects of quilting and continues to design, create, teach, and judge. And with that, let me introduce Molly.
Thank you very much. I'm sure some of you know me from before. I've taught classes out here many years ago. I think I taught Stack and Whack.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Remember that? Thanks, Patty. Yes. And I've been around a while. I'm from northern New York on the Canadian border. I was a bad girl.
I'd skip school with my girlfriend and we'd take the ferry to Canada. We'd spend a day in Canada. And we had a lot of fun. And one day I skipped school because my boyfriend at the time was at another school. And I almost got kicked out of school for doing it. So my real name is Mary, but I'm no Mary. Anyway, I've been quilting for well over 30 years. I love all aspects of quilting. And my other life, I was Director of Food and Nutrition Services for a 5,000 bed facility for the developmentally disabled. I had 150 employees in the food service. I had 8 kitchens and 25 serving sites. And my daughter Sandy says I need to write a book. So someday maybe I'll do that. My mother was an artist, and I've done 5 of her paintings and quilts. They've all been appraised very highly, one of which made the cover of a magazine, has been published many, many times. So I enjoy all aspects of quilting. I love all the people that I have met on my quilting journey, and there are many, from California, from Maine to Florida, and in between. So I do have a few of my quilts with me. I have one, and I think Sandy's going to show that. Okay.
Anytime you are.
That is over 60 years old. And as you can see, it's wearing. My former sister-in-law, before she passed, had given me a quilt. I didn't even know what a quilt was. I was in my early 20s. I didn't know what it was. So I decided that I had a job in occupational therapy when arts and crafts was occupational therapy. And I had a quilting class. I didn't even know what a quilt was back then. And so I had to design a quilt for the patients to do. And so I came up with that one. And when I made it, this will show you my ignorance. I tore, back then in those days, you tore your fabric. I tore 18-inch squares. It designed the tulip that they would eventually make. And then I put it into there. And I made a king-size bedspread with it. And one day when my 2 older children were little, I took it apart because it had a blanket in the middle and a sheet on the back. Remember those days? Okay. So I took it all apart, made the box a little smaller, and they're only tied in the 4 corners. No. Back in those days. That's what I knew how to do it. Didn't know how to do anything else. And that, I finally sold the quilt, the bedspread, in a garage sale. But I kept that as a reminder. And you can see how it is aged. It's over 60 years old. Yes. So from there, I bought the raffle ticket and won a lot of, won a quilt and whatnot. Then I joined the Quilt Guild. I took a lot of classes and whatnot, as Nancy said earlier. Right, Nancy. Okay, Sandy? That's the second one, okay.
We're the ball here.
That then is just a scrap quilt. I had no pattern, no design, and I think I quilted it on my domestic machine. I don't remember when, but it's probably 20, 25 years old. But it's a nice utility quilt. It's never been on the bed. Okay? Alrighty. Then the next one, I had wonderful friends, and they said, Molly, we're going to take a Baltimore album class. I said, I don't want to do that. I want to sew on my sewing machine. I said, okay, I'll take the class. Well, of the 3 of us, I was the only one that finished. I got addicted to applique. Now this one here, the I showed the teacher in the applique class, I'm gonna make that. She said, oh yeah, sure, Molly. That's all I needed. And that's the top.
Yeah, we're not following them.
Yeah, that's the top. That's all hand applique, hand quilted.
Oh my gosh.
And when I got it done, I couldn't see the contrast between the petals. They just kind of all blended in together. So I did embroidery, which I had never done before. And I did beadwork, and I did anything I could so that the petals would show. I did some three-dimensional leaves. I had never done anything like this before. My husband and I took a cruise. I took that on a cruise to work with it. I did a little bit the borders on it. And I wanted to make it different. And I used different golds. All the different colors and everything. There's over 200 leaves, and there's no two the same. Yeah. And that's all hand quilted.
Wow. It looks like so she had even like a formal dining room or something, right?
That's an amazing quilt.
Molly, did you ever put it in a show?
Yes, that was in the New York State show.
Oh, wow.
And it won a ribbon.
Wow.
I was co-chairman of the 2000 and the 2002 consortium show in Syracuse, New York, and we had to have quilts, so I put this in the show. Yeah, and so it won a prize. Yes, yes. Okay, not that one yet. Not that one yet. No, that's not the right one.
Okay, we're out of order here. I thought that was the last one.
Not that. That one's next.
This one's next. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Some of you may have already seen this. One of the gentlemen here mentioned a need or a want to have me have a class. It's painted on black fabric.
Oh.
It's painted and it's ironable, washable, everything. A woman, a couple years ago, I was judging in Tampa, and I saw the technique. I couldn't believe it. Yes, I've painted on fabric before, but I had never seen this technique. It is amazing. And you can wash it, you can iron on it. It's fabulous. Okay. Then one day, a couple of years ago, I had the urge just to sit down and draw. So I got a big piece of paper out and just started drawing. Okay? Then when it came time to picking the fabrics, I wanted the fabrics to flow into one another a little bit so they aren't all different. So it gave some movement, some motion. And then I said, okay, I got to do something to add some sparkle. So I added the round circles, which we call moon. So the title of this is Moonbeams. And it's all free motion quilted. Okay? And I just recently put it together into a pattern, and I will be teaching it. Yes, it's fun. Yes. And now this one here is my latest. It is very unique. It is painted on black fabric and then free motion quilted. Have you ever been to the zoo, the Central Florida Zoo at Christmas time and seen the Asian lights? Well, my grandson was visiting one time and he said, we want to go over and see the Christmas lights. I said, oh, all right. I had no idea. I thought it was regular Christmas lights. But it was this Asian display of lights. And it took us 2 hours to go through there. And I didn't bring my camera or my phone, but my grandson, Nate, did. And he took a lot of pictures. So one day I just took one of the pictures and decided that I'm going to make the dragon. And I just had it appraised. I don't have the appraisal yet, but she said, you are a fabric artist. And it will be in the 4-figure number, so I don't know. It could be 1,000, it could be 5,000, it could be 9,000, I don't know. One of my quilts, based on my mom's paintings, was appraised at over 13,000. Wow. It's been published several times, including the cover of an NQA magazine. So, but anyway, but this one is amazing. It took me a month just to paint the head.
Wow.
Yeah. The whole thing, it took me many months. Yeah, and I used a very tiny brush. Yep, and then it was all pre-motion quilted. And you can see the stars up in the sky with the whatever. And then I had that dead spot up there, I had to put some fireworks in there. So, I'm pretty pleased with it, yeah. Yes.
Sorry, do you paint first the pattern, or do you quilt first the pattern?
You paint it. You paint it on black fabric. I investigated the technique, and a woman in Australia developed the technique. And I was in correspondence with her a few times. And she draws it out on the black fabric with a panda pencil. Have you ever heard of a panda pencil? Okay, not many people have. And it's erasable with heat. It's so fabulous. If I sent to Australia I got 2 for $10. But the shipping on it was $20. But I enjoy all that stuff. And I can sit there in my house and I can paint while TV is on and just relax and enjoy every minute of it. If you go to my website, mollywaddell.com, you can see some of my work. They only let me bring 5, so I brought 6. They wouldn't let me bring any more.
Thank you so much.
And I'm available for teaching.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, take care.
Well, much to her surprise, I'm going to have Carolyn come up next. She says, oh no. All right, let me read while she's walking up here. And tell me if I'm saying this right. Carolyn Galluccio? Okay.
That's what I get from marrying an Italian.
That's right. Was born and raised in Pinellas County, Florida, and moved to Volusia County in October 2024, so she's still a newcomer. It is here that she has met an amazing group of quilting friends. She started quilting in February of 2024. She started quilting, inspired by her daughter and granddaughter. She loves hiking and has hiked over 400 miles of the Appalachian Trail with a lifetime goal to complete the entire 2,100 miles. Carolyn.
Well, you go from somebody who's been quilting for 30 years to somebody who's been quilting 2, so don't get your hopes up. Just saying. Mine have not been published, mine have, anything. So the first one, I originally got inspired years and years ago by my daughter and like trips that we would take, and I wanted to do a t-shirt quilt. Well, every time I tried to sew the t-shirts together, even with interfacing, I could never get a straight seam, I got nests, I got all these kind of things. So I'm like, okay, crafty as I am, I do scrapbooking, I do all kinds of other things. I'm like, sewing ain't my gig. So my husband bought me a sewing machine in December of 23 for Christmas. Singer, I still somewhat use it. And I'm like, oh, lo and behold, maybe it was a machine and not the user itself. So anyway, I started working on my daughter's t-shirt quilt, and I did get that done. It's not here tonight, but that was my first official quilt. And not really a quilt, because I took a black fuzzy blanket that she liked and just attached it, so it's not the typical 3-layer quilt. So this was my next one, inspired by this one. My uncle passed away in March of 23, and I volunteered, even though I knew nothing about quilting, to my cousins to say, give me some of his clothes and I'll make some quilts. So I actually made 4 of these, and I made one for my aunt, one for each of my cousins. This one's mine. And nobody told me that a tessellation pinwheel was supposed to be hard, so this was like the first quilt that I ever really did. So with that, like I said, I did 4, and then I also made 7 pillows for the grandkids, and then I made bears for the great-grandkids and, you know, my uncle's family. So that's number 1. I did it, and I also free motion. I took a free motion class at Bold Notions. So I've always done my own quilting, and I even quilted his name into it. Then these two kind of go together. I'll hold one, she can hold one. So then, as Nanette said, I was inspired by my granddaughter and my daughter. So around the time I started quilting, my daughter-in-law got pregnant. So I decided to have my own Block of the Month club. And this is my grandbaby. So this one's mine, and it has pictures of her from birth to year, pictures of me and my husband and the family. And then this one is hers, and it actually has her clothes in it in some of the pictures that she was wearing. And this one's not done yet because, again, quilter for 2 years. I realized after I got it off the long arm and started to trim it to put the binding on, that I screwed up and did not put an outside border on the 2 sides. So I had to search for fabric on Etsy, and I did finally find the fabric, so I need to finish this one. But at any rate, so this will go to, and these are twins, they fit a twin size bed, so. And then I was inspired last year when I went to the AQS, and they asked for military quilts for this past AQS. I did submit for it, it didn't get accepted, but you know, it is what it is. But I designed this on my own using EQ8, and there are 50 stars in there. And I called it Military Christmas, and it's to honor all of those who have been away during the holidays, so that we can enjoy the freedoms to be with our family during the holidays. And that's what I have on the quilt. And if you look at the white stripes, it's white on white flags. And if you look closely at it, I used a stencil, but I did free motion it myself, and it's soldiers. And a veteran that looked at it actually made a comment to me that he said that it's like the ghost of the soldiers past, which I thought was that really like kind of touched me when he said that. But anyway, so yeah, you'll see there's all 5 branches are represented on there. And like I said, there's Christmas. Anything that's got a cross in the back is kind of the nativity. There's Jesus, the 3 wise men, Mary, Joseph. So yeah, that's that one. Oh, and I did, again, see, nobody tells me things are hard. I did put a red piping in the binding because I thought it looked cool. Nobody told me that was supposed to be hard either. And I made the binding, or the piping, using the same red fabric. So. And then as you can see, I don't typically like patterns or kits. I do things on my own, again, because nobody told me it's supposed to be hard. So this one I did see at where the boys are, so many things. Yeah, that way. Yeah, the label's upside down. See, again, new quilter, don't know these things. But my daughter loves Halloween and the moon phases and everything. So this was a kit from them, and so I made this for my daughter. And again, I custom quilted that one. So I got every moon is slightly different quilted. I've got orange thread in there, black thread in there, so I do change colors. Again, kind of crazy because nobody told me that was supposed to be hard either. Because these quilts of my granddaughters that I did, those have like 10 different colors in the quilting too. So yeah, that's my daughter's. I had to steal it from her last night. She wants it back very desperately. She loves it. But well, yeah, it's got purple minky on the back, so that's why she wants it back. And then this is a fun one. As I said, I've been inspired grandbaby, and this is year number 3 of mine for the Florida Shop Hop. So year number 1 at the Heartfelt store in Winter Park, I don't know where it is, but I saw this really cute pattern of a fabric paper doll. So this is for my grandbaby, and in here, there's actually, you can change the color of the eyes. I didn't realize there was no eyes on it, but at any rate, you can change the hair. I made different hair, I made different clothes, and these are clothes that were hers. So what I did put into the quilt, I put into here, and they all have little Velcro on them so that you can make your clothes. And then these are little pockets to put everything in. And if you find this pattern, I'm just going to tell y'all now, the directions suck. So, with the help of some of my friends in the back corner there, I took this on a quilt retreat, and I'm like, help new quilter here, and we kind of came up with this together, so anyway, and again, I can hand quilted, or not hand quilted, but machine quilted little hearts around it, for my grandbaby. And then, I did kind of cheat and went a little too, this one's not done yet, but this one I'm really proud of. My mother was born and raised in Australia, and she died when I was 8, and she never got the opportunity to go back to Australia. So she came over here. My dad was raised in Australia too. She was not a mail order bride. But they met and got engaged in Australia. He came back to the States because of the Korean War, and she followed him. After she turned 21, she followed him over here. They were not allowing American men to marry foreigners on American soil, so they actually had to get married in Canada. But at any rate, so my husband, my daughter, and I in 2022 were able to go to Australia, visit family. So this is a quilt of our trip to Australia. It's all made, every square is a different Aboriginal fabric. And in the top corner there where you see the black and white picture, that's my mom and the 3 sisters in 1950 before she left Australia. And then the one where the net is holding it is me, my husband, and my daughter at the same spot. It's pretty cool. And then the middle is hand applique on there. And you can't really see it, but I did embroider. So I got a little Sophia sewing machine, and I learned how to embroider, at least words. So under each picture, before I quilted, or before I put the blocks together, I did quilt where each, or embroider where each kind of part is. So anyway.
What are you using to do your pictures?
There's a special fabric that you can buy that you feed through. It has to be an inkjet printer. You can't use a laser jet. The name brand I don't remember, but I've gotten it off of Amazon. But thank you.
There's a company too, you can send it and stuff too, and they'll print it.
Yeah, it's probably cheaper printed by the paper off of Amazon.
And
But
there's
yeah.
also a place in Port Orange that will, you supply the picture and the fabric, it's prepared for dyeing fabric, and they'll print it out for you.
Okay. So, but yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you, Carolyn, so much. If you get a chance, look at some of those photographs up close. They're amazing. All right, so next we have Robin Krim. Robin, you want to come up here? Yes, Robin. Robin was one of the first babies born at the military hospital at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, and was raised in Leavenworth, Rock Chalk, and Jayhawk. She received a BS in Business Administration from the University of Kansas. Robin and her husband Kevin will celebrate 32 years of marriage by going on a cruise in June. In 2001, she had major surgery, and as she is not a stay-at-home type, You know that, right? Type of person. She shuffled her way into the local quilt store and fell in love with the quilts. She told the store owner, "I wish I knew how to do that," and was promptly signed up for a class and has been hooked ever since. Robin says that she was in sticker shock when she paid $269 for her first sewing machine. But by that time, she had already completed her first quilt. She named it the $10,000 quilt. We all know what that's like. That was 25 years ago. Since then, she has received another BA degree for elementary education, an MS in special education, and another MS for educational leadership. She and her husband Kevin moved to Florida in August 2019, where she started working for Volusia County Schools. Robin loves taking quilting classes and attending retreats and can't wait for retirement. How many days, Robin?
1 year, 4 months, and maybe 19 days.
You can, whenever you see Robin, you can just ask her. She'll know exactly how many days, I promise you. She is also in the process of opening up her own business, Robin's Quilting Nest, where quilts take flight. She will be providing long arm services, quilts for sale, and possible teaching. Robin.
All right, thanks. All right, so of course, you want this one? I had to bring my first quilt that I made. It's Thimbleberry's fabric. I didn't know what I was doing. This is not my favorite, but because it was my first one, I have to keep it. So it's hanging in a dark hallway. Yeah, and the thing is that has a flange on it, and it's mitered at the corners.
Ooh.
I cannot, it's not in my directions. I can't find it on YouTube on how to do that again. So, it's frustrating. So if anybody knows, let me know. Do you know? Oh, write a pattern for me. I'm a pattern type of girl. I'm not quite as creative as thinking outside the box yet. All right, so after my first one, I took this class called Fractured Crystals. It was a local lady, well not local, but she came into the quilt store to teach this class. This was quilted on my domestic. This was a Mother's Day gift for my mom. I sat there for 12 hours a day rolling, quilting, so I was like this. I blew out the motor of my $269 machine, but I got another one. And then after quilting for a while, I had too much dead space, so after Mom passed, of course I took the quilt back. And I went in and finished quilting it. Beautiful. That was different. You can see where it pinches in the back because I'm not good at doing the domestic. All right, so then I started working part-time at a quilt store. It's a little baby one. And I shop model, and then Angela Walters quilted it. So Maria could hang it. So I don't need a baby quilt, but because she quilted it, I kept it. And then my next avenue is I like to proof patterns. So this one is by Kat Nix. She wrote the pattern. She was teaching this on an Alaskan cruise. So this quilt top has been to Alaska and back. And I can't remember the name of it. But I want a custom quilt on it, so I need to practice that before I put it on there. And then the last one is I proofed another pattern. They liked me to proof patterns because I was new. So if I could complete the quilt, then anybody can do it. And this one is called Christmas in Times Square.
Is that your name for it?
No, that was the shop's name for it. It's a
Does proofing mean that you read the directions and they're okay?
Yeah, I proof for like grammar errors, measurements. I cut it. It's like, oh, this is too short. So now it's upside down. It's supposed to be a tree.
Hard to tell from the back.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of different blocks. So, and then the other shop model has like little crystals, so I bought crystals to put on it after I quilted. Just haven't got that far yet. I'm sorry? Not really. I can't remember if she made kits after. This is all from Kansas. Because the other quilts I've done since being here, I've already showed and tell. So, that's it.
All right, our final quilter is Sabine. I know it reads like Sabine, but it's actually Sabine. And she has a resume second to none. I was just astounded, as I'm sure you probably will be. I'm going to read it. Sabine Collins was born on the German-French border near Strasbourg and lived with her family in Munich, Germany during her formative years. While in high school, she enjoys a year in Napoli and Rome, Italy as an exchange student. She graduated with a BA in Business Administration from Munich's Ludwig Maximilian University and later received a post-BA in International Trade and Management from the University of Maryland Global Campus. She completed her master's in historic preservation at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. Sabine lived and worked very happily in Washington, D.C. and New York City for more than 25 years. In 2019, she moved to Florida to care for her mother, who suffered from glioblastoma for 5.5 years. She loves the arts, music, nature, traveling, and quilting. Sabine's mommy was a hand quilter herself while she tries her luck on the machine. And with that, Sabine.
So unlike many other people, I haven't been quilting that long, and as I said, Mom was a hand quilter, and it always demanded a lot of respect for her. And she made a beautiful white on white wedding quilt for me, and it took her nearly almost 11 years, and by the time she was finished, I got divorced. So this is my very first quilt I made when I started to care for Mom. It is her fabrics, and I didn't know anything. I mean, I saw how she hand quilted, but how the machine worked, and the batting is too fat, and I quilted it myself on one of Mom's machines that no longer works after that. So, but it has, having been a graduate from the Art Institute in Chicago, and always painted and loved colors, and later when I worked in the jewelry industry, diamonds are very pretty, but colored stones are my weakness. So you will see in the other pieces I made that bright colors are talking to me. So, and yeah, and that's an Italian fabric with typical pattern of Venezia.
That's the room to the family thing.
Where is the trip to the airport? My daughter.
Have a great day, everybody.
4 o'clock flight, she's coming at me, they're still there.
And my mother made a Baltimore Beauty, Molly. My mom started making a Baltimore Beauty. She made the 12 blocks around, and she couldn't finish the center. So if somebody knows who makes Baltimore Beauties and will teach me to do the center block, then
I can teach almost anything, but yes, I finished the Baltimore album a year ago, but get a hold of me.
will do. Many thanks. This is another of my attempts of trying to do something I've never done. All these are colors from my mom, her blocks, and I thought, you know, we're never, the front and the back is never the same, or if you look at our face, one side is always different than the other. So this was, it's mommy, and it's the most comfortable cushion I have. And this is the quilt I made for Mommy because I thought she liked color, not as much as I, but she loved these particular colors, and I started making it, and the triangles are actually two separate triangles. They're not one piece. Which I didn't know that I could cut out real triangles and sew them. But anyway, unfortunately, I didn't finish it in time for Mommy, but yeah, she looked at it, and I remember when she drove up with her power chair, and she looked at it, and it was very serious. She had lost speech, and the right side of her, you know, hands, and the right side didn't function. And she looked at it, and she was very, not critical, but I think she was wondering, why so many colors? Why so many bright colors together? So, yeah, it's one of my favorite quilts. I've made other quilts, but they're all gifted, so I don't have them, but with a fun background. And then I have one that I finished last night. The edge I hand sewed, and it's been, it is for someone who, how do you know, you love your relatives. So this is for a loving relative that is very, the pattern was complicated, the sewing was complicated, the binding was complicated, and I made a mistake with the batting. So that's my relationship to that person that gets this quilt. That is the one I just finished, and it was a headache, to say the least. And I really, as I said, I made others and I gifted them, and I used the right batting. And here, this is going to Calgary, Canada, and for some reason I put a flannel sheet in instead of real batting so that it's warm. So it might come back with me, and I say I make her another one, but with the correct batting and less complicated pattern. I don't know if you can see the back, but I have a very sweet lady that does quilting, and these are waves and little pearls, you know, from the waves, that the spray of water. And she was a friend of Mom, and so she's been quilting, and she lives in South Orlando, so I've been schlepping to South Orlando, but yeah, on top with everything else with this quilt. So that's all I have.
Thank you to each and every one of you that presented. You know, of course, the quilts are unusual, but what I'm sure everybody will agree with, it's the individuals and their stories behind them and why they made that quilt. And I see a few tears here, and I'm going to join that group. So thank you.
So now we can do show and tell. Where do we want to line up? Do we want to line up on this side? Okay, and I'm just going to ask as you come up to show something, if you please come to the microphone and say your name. I'm trying to learn everybody's name, and I think there's other people that may not know everybody. So thank you very much.
Sorry, no.
Hi, I'm Aurora, and I thought, I made this years ago. It's a twist and turn of a shamrock, so it's going to be St. Patrick's Day, so I thought it'd be fun to share it. And I attempted and completed my first biennial bag. It's a lunch bag.
Hi, Ginger. I brought just a little red quilt that I made. And my husband even had to clean the dryer vent from the roof because it just kept shedding.
Giving it away.
My name is Allison Ann, and I've been sewing 40 years probably quilting, but I took a 10-year break when I went back to teaching and did other things, so I've been trying to get my mojo back. But this was started, I guess, probably in the middle 90s before I went back to work. And our Racing Fingers had a quilt guild project. It was a challenge that you started with a 12-inch square, and you passed it around. Every month you added a different border to it. And I've had it all these years until about maybe 8 months ago. But the women who participated in this, somebody said that they remembered working on it. Somebody I talked to recently thought that they worked on it. But I remember one of my friends in the Quilt Guild at that time said she had to take it all apart. She was the one that did the food around the border. And she said it was so crooked that she had to take all the borders off to square it up. So I had to finish it out of respect for these women who did it. But I have always done hand quilting before. And I have so many tops that I've accumulated over the years that I thought I've got to get some of these put together and quilted. So, and talking to Jean Roth, she was telling me about her Q20, so I purchased one. And I knew nothing really about it, except that it was going to do what I wanted it to do. But if you know anything about it, you know it takes a lot of practice, especially for a dedicated hand quilter. So, where's that back? So, at any rate, but I did a lot of things that I learned on the woman who did the hand quilting workshop for us and did the fabric painting workshop. I used a lot of techniques that she had, because I really didn't know. You don't show them. So this is all machine, but I didn't really know what to do as far as the border. So Jean suggested variegated thread, so that's what I did to do it. But I know what the mistakes are. I started from the inside and worked out, but you know, by the end of it, I liked it pretty much. So then, because I'm trying to get used to working with fabric again, I bought a lot of like small kits. And so this was one of the Laura Payne. It's called Prickly Pear. And I did this by machine as well, and I've accumulated a lot of beads and thread over the years, so I try to incorporate and just kind of get rid of my stash of everything. So my projects right now are fairly small. This was my last hand quilt. I know. This is one of these, I don't even remember the person's name who did it, but I'm sure it's familiar. But it has all kinds of fused fabric on it, and though it was fun to fuse it, I decided I was going to hand quilt it never again. So that's how we.
Maybe that would help you loosen up the rest of that. Maybe before I give it to some poor baby.
And that was another one I got in Houston, I think, when I was out there with a kid. Another one, small kit that I bought with the fabric, and I machine quilted that too. So I'm progressing. So at any rate, I did wearable art at the get-go years ago. I did wearable art, and that was the reason I did a jacket that had all kinds of food on it. And so when one woman did the border with all the food, it was kind of in reference to that jacket.
To show something that I didn't make. Yes.
Okay, no please. I'm Judy Glover. Anyway, at the AQS show, not this year, last year, it was Saturday afternoon around 4 o'clock, and I was still there, and I was walking the aisles, and I saw this bag, and I begged the lady to sell me the demo, and she wouldn't. So I bought her last kit, and I took it home, and I thought, I'm never going to do this. Some of you know me, I still work, I have a really full life, and Nancy Thompson, who a lot of you know as our buddy and friend for so many years, moved back to Arkansas. But last November, she came and stayed with me for a week. And she said, what can I do for you? And I said, here's the kit. I'm never going to do this. Please make this for me. And she you can't see it. It says, just keep swimming. And I showed it to the lady with the booth this year. Mine was really cuter than hers.
Okay, I'm Debbie Morse, and I'm breaking the law too, because Bonnie wouldn't show her little Bonnie spurs that I bought at Sit and Sew last month, and I put it up in my sewing room, but I needed two because I have something else in the middle, so I asked her to make me another one. So these are our Bonnie, yes, our Bonnie's words. Oh, she said she was leaving early, that's why she wouldn't do it. She said. Hi, I'm Kim, and this is the workshop, and I have the flowers.
Is it no, it's all.
This was the kid for I did too, so I haven't finished it, but it's going to be a pillow also. And I'm obsessed with those little flowers.
the frog and the squirrel. They don't have their clothes yet, but. Luna LePen, he's got like 5 books, and there's different, little animals with it, with the outfits. And it's sort of like the Peter Rabbit, where they tell the story. She's got a story for each one. And the clothes are really cute.
And how many books did you buy?
I have 3. You get the bunny with each one, and then her friends are the animals. That was, Michelle found that for me. That was a fake fur collar from Amazon. Pain in the neck to do.
Or put it on one shelf on it. Do you think Bill's going to be hard to do all this stuff? Margin impossible. Pretty nasty about it.
Okay, my name is Mike Moore. So I have a couple of class projects. So at Christmas, I've been took a class in October, and I got this partly done and just finished it a couple weeks ago. It was the first time I had done anything like this as an embroidery project, like a panel embroidery machine project, but I really liked it. It didn't come with a border though, so I kind of made up my own border, took the pieces out of this and kind of replicated it and made the border, but I really like it. I thought it turned out nice. And then this one was a class I took at AQS. I'd never taken a class at AQS before, so this was the quilt that we made at the AQS show. I only made 1 row of blocks during the class. Well, silly me, I thought, oh, it's a 3-hour class, I'll get the entire quilt top done. Wait, I got 4 blocks done in 3 hours, which I thought that was pretty good. But anyway, got 1 row done. But anyway, finished the rest. But I love it, I think it's beautiful. So anyway, my daughter fell in love with it. She's like, I can't wait till I have kids. I'm like, please wait till I have kids. She's like, I want my kids to play on this. I'm like, okay, I can totally do that. Just please, let's slow the roll. Anyway.
What was the name of the class?
Double frame hijinks.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. Thanks.
Must be.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Joe Pickard again. I've done one block of the month several times over the past 6 months. So here's the posy block. You'll notice none of them are quilted. I don't do quilting, I do tops. And back in October or November, I won the block of the month again, and I got a stack I didn't know what to do with. So there are 3 of them. This is the first one. Very simple pattern, very easy to do. Thank you, whoever put these blocks together.
The ones you want.
Okay, second one. I couldn't do the same thing again, but I got close to it.
This and you're there. So one and paste them all. I do a great job on that.
See what you can do when you get a block of the month? You can play with it. And the third one, I had to play again. I have no idea. I played with a perspective on this one, and you can see the movement. I call call it the garden patch. From a low high all the way to the round into the center where the extreme gets higher. Thank you for the people who do the block of the month. You've done a great job. And I can use anybody's help to do the tops, and I'll do the backs and give you the practice time.
Okay, as long as we're on block of the month. Y'all are so surprised I did not win this month, and that is because I took my red and whites and I cut up a bunch, and then I was like, oh shoot, there's no blue. Okay, well, what would it look like if I put this fabric in? And this is what happens at my house. I want all the blocks. And as long as we're doing Americana this year, I decided I'm going to do a minimum of 10 Americanas. Minimum. I got a new ruler. And it's like arc something forever. Well, this is a blue one. And if you go to retreat, I'm going to make a purple one in. There you go. It's the ruler is one of those that's got the spots in it. Okay, and then I'm teaching my panel class in April and May. So here's another panel in Georgia. So the thing will be like, oh, let's look at this panel. What the heck did I do wrong here? Well, I know what I did wrong, but I still like it. And then we always advertise for Quilts of Valor, but hello, at Foster Sew, we do some amazing work.
Yes, we do. Oh, you got them done.
So I think, I cut the kit, and I'm pretty sure Cindy might have sewn it.
Yep.
Okay.
And I got the second one done too.
Woo! And then Julie, of course, quilts everything. And then, speaking of half square triangles, you could just put some bias tape down the center there, and you have yourself some umbrellas. And you can make a little Foster Sew quilt. So some of these obviously are strings, some of these are 2.5-inch squares. I just used whatever I had, and then Julie quilted it.
Okay, I'm going to be a little obnoxious and tell you a little bit about her. Because unfortunately, or fortunately for us, there were some elderly, like really elderly, ladies who passed away and left us their stash, or what was left of their stash, of which there was 9 million things of bias tape. And I said, oh, what are we going to do with this? So this one comes up with, let's do this. And it's always, let's do this. So she has been the inspiration for a lot of our interesting things, and she's amazing, and she really needs to move down here full time.
And I did hold on my quilts. These are all charity, and some of them started with Sophie stuff, mixed with other Sophie stuff, or they take. And some was like dresses and stuff. Fabric just, you know. So if you want to show the back. So these are all charity, the first, I think, 7 of them. Wow. I haven't shown anything for a while, so I had to build up to tonight. That's a crossroads. And that's got sheep and cows, I think. Really old-fashioned fabric, but you know, I like some of the old-fashioned stuff.
Silks look so soft. Soft colors usually. She doesn't like this.
I've been busy.
Calm.
Throw some red in there, you got patriotic.
Yeah, that was some more kind of beige fabric, but left over from a lot of other projects. That one is, these are not, these are, this one is one that I started for class I was teaching and kind of did it the wrong way initially, so it worked out. And the back, you have the extra fabric left over, so we have enough. We kind of blended the front part to the back part. That one is Twisted Witty Sisters, I think. And it was quilt number 4 from the challenge we had the year before last when we did the log cabin, and I did the Manx quilt. I had no idea how much fabric we needed, I just kept buying, so I did 4 total. And that's number 4. If you want to show the back side of that, I made it a little more modern. That's, if anybody knows me, that's not me. All the rest is scraps. And this one I saw on Pinterest, but it was much more colorful. It's called Sticks and Stones. But the back's not that interesting. It's just a nice paisley, I think. And this one, I was at a meeting up in Palm Coast, and a lady was at the Quilt Coat and Sew store, and she brought in a bunch of samples for drapes and what have you. And so they said, you want them? So crazy enough, I took them, and there was a peach and a blue, and it was a booger to put together, but this is kind of the back quarter bag. And it has a nice little lining with stuff like that. It holds so much. There's so much fun. And then with the top, so I take the pattern out. And I have this nice blue bag, and it has a charity quilts. I'll put it back. Hi, I'm Nancy Swanson, and I'm a guest today, I guess. I decided to bring something that I thought most of you would have. I'm sure that you've gone to that class and you came home and you've made this one square and you look at it and you say, now what am I going to do with that? I don't want a pillow. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I got to thinking about it, I thought, man, what am I going to do with this stuff? I don't want to make pillows. I don't want to make another quilt out of it, so what am I going to do? And I thought, you know what? I think I've got this figured out. I've got a design board. I started putting my blocks up on the wall. I looked at the greens and I thought, how am I going to make this to work? So I took the blocks that had similar colors. I took the fabric and I started using it around the edges to pull it together. As you notice, if you took those blocks individually, they don't work. But what makes it work is the border. It's pulling it together. And that's where you can use other fabrics to pull it together. For instance, up here, this has got green in it. This has got green in it. To get those blocks to be the same size to put it in, pick out a color that will blend in with the other ones and put it together. And you can make a really wonderful quilt. One of those pieces came from an appraiser friend of mine. She made the center one and she gave it to me. She said, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And I said, you know what? I think I know what I can do with it. And I really love it because it reminds me of different classes I took. But remember to try and, if you're going to get those squares to match and look like it to go together, pick out a fabric that has the same colors in it and square those up. And then take a border and bring it together with that so it'll all be together. It's an artistic design type of way of working, but it works. And I love it. I love the way it came out. I took similar blocks that I had, and I just laid them out. I thought, I like this one, I like this one, I like that one. I don't like that one. And I just started laying them out, and I thought, hey, you know, this is kind of working. I think I can do that. And so then I just took fabrics that had similar colors to square them up. And then I added the green and the purple to pull it together. So it's just a design principle, but it really works. So, and a suggestion of what you can do with those odd blocks.
I'm pretty sure I'm standing between you and leaving, so I'll be quick.
First of all, let me tell you, I know we're not supposed to do this, but today's her birthday.
I can't think of a better place to hang out with people that you love. Yes. This actually is done by Sue Mitchell. She, unfortunately for us, fortunate for her, is vacationing in the islands. So that is for a donation quilt, so that'll go right in the blue bag. The other one is my Bonnie Hunter mystery called Old Town from last year. And I've almost got the binding done. So, yes, there's oh, don't stab yourself. I did last night. Oh, wow. And my backs like to be as much fun as the front. So that's the front, and I'll get them to turn around and show you the back, because it's a lot of fun too. I had this panel, what are you going to do with it? And there it is.
This was just a fun quilt. The lady uses all yo-yos. So there's 65 little yo-yos in here for this one.
Someone's left a bunch of lollipops or whatever you call them on the table. Please take one as you go.
No, take two. Okay, so our meeting is adjourned. It is 8:42. Thank you all for coming.